This segment of Panther Sports Talk is brought to you by Lincoln Savings Bank. At home in Iowa, at work for you.
Welcome inside the beautiful Unidome as we talk Panther Athletics with the Director of UNI Athletics, David Harris. And David, last year was pretty good across the board for a lot of sports, in the classroom, on the field, on the court. Looking back now that you've had the summer and some time to look about it, why were you happy with the success that you saw from the student athletes here at UNI last year?
Really just that our student athletes and our coaches did what we knew that they could do, what they've done in the past, and that's just perform really highly in a number of different ways. First of all, in the classroom, when you look at the GPA, I think it's 15 or 16 semesters in a row. GPA is above a 3.0. It's above the GPA of the student body. Just a great job by our student athletes. The graduation rate of our student athletes was equal to the graduation rate of the student body. Wow. And then we had 5 teams that were in the top 10% in APR in the entire country. So once again, our coaches do a great job of bringing in student athletes that can do a great job in the classroom. Our student development and academic support area under the leadership of Eggers just does a great job of working with them. But we have young men and women who really want to excel in the classroom, and so we had another banner year in that regard. And then in the field of competition, you look and see that we had 3 teams that ultimately won some type of conference championship between cross country and wrestling and softball, and then 2 more teams with women's basketball and volleyball that qualified for an at-large bid to the NCAA tournament. And that's not to mention all the other teams that also had a good year, even if they didn't distinguish themselves necessarily in postseason play. But you look at swimming, which finished in the top 3. I'm just proud to see the work that our coaches and our student athletes are doing. They're really excelling in everything that they choose to do. We got to continue to support them, continue to provide resources, and make sure that they can have success. But we're setting up to have another great year. We're setting up to have another year in which many of those student athletes that helped us to have success last year will be back. And we know we're going to have great support, and so now it's just a matter of getting it lined up and getting ready to compete.
That's a tough thing, though. I mean, you graduated some outstanding student athletes, and they won't be here, but the foundation is, and why are you excited for the momentum that you're continuing to build?
And that's one of the things that I think is really important at UNI. We have coaches that have been here for a while. We have a lot of consistency with the leadership of our programs, and so even when we have turnover with our student athletes, or sometimes we'll have turnover with assistant coaches, ultimately having that head coach that's been here for a period of time just gives us some stability. And we have some of the very best coaches that have ever been here in the history of our program. So I always feel like when we can have the leadership come back, we're going to be in a position to have a great year, because they're going to be going out and recruiting other student athletes to take the place of the ones that have left, and then coaching them up so that we can continue to have success.
Well, successful last year, looking good for the future. When we come back, we'll talk specifically about the fall sports. We'll talk about some ticket packages and, of course, the Panther Scholarship Club. That and more coming up right after this here on Panther Sports Talk.